Hey, what's going on, everyone? Dan the Glassman here. You're watching the Glassman's World, and we are about to get started on making more hot air balloons. So we'll probably work on some simple, generic ones like this here, and work on some really nice custom balloons, ones that are straight up from the cards here. And let me see if I can get. I won't even worry about that. I was thinking we might get the screen going, but I don't know if it's going to work today, and I haven't spent the time to figure it out, so I don't want to deal with that right now. But let me show you what I'm going to be trying to work on today. Look at this one here. That is a doozy right there. So I'm going to do my best to replicate this. This has, you got the yellow, the green, the light blue, and you got a pink, and then like a burgundy color, which is what I've been using over here. So let's see if we can at least pull out the colors here. Alright, so there goes the pink right there. We need a really nice light blue, like a baby blue here. Now I don't know if I've got this color here, but I don't think that'll come through. I think this would be a little too translucent when I lay it on there. I think it'll look clear or white. Let me see if there's any other kind of blue. Don't know if I have the blue that I'm looking for. I'm wondering if I should just go with it. Can't go with that cobalt. It needs to be that baby blue, that powder blue there. Oh, oh, oh. Okay. Where did this one come from? That's what I need right there. Now, where did this come from? I'm going to look through my colors here real quick. I'm going to see what I can find here. Maybe a little bit too dark. More of a peacock. Not that. Not the moonstone. That's interesting. Where is that color? That's a really, really light blue, almost like a purplish. Lockman. Oh, that's so interesting. Where do I find that color now? If I don't have any more of it, I won't be able to duplicate it. I don't think it's this. It's close, but it needs to be more of a baby blue, like a sky blue. Man, this is so close. I don't know where I got it from. That's like a perfect blue right there. But I only have these two little chunks. Like, where did they come from? And I'm wondering if maybe I made it. Did I make it from white? Did I pull some blue off of some white here? Is that what I did? Because maybe what I did is I coated some white in order to get that baby blue. Did I do that? You know, I can make my own colors from time to time. So it's like almost like that color right there. I need to find that baby blue. I don't think that's it, is it? Alright, maybe. I mean, I don't know. I think it had white over it. I think I had white covering cobalt to make that baby blue. Maybe we should try to make some white over cobalt then, huh? Let's see. Let's see what the white. White with a super light cobalt. Alright, so right here what I'm going to do is I'm going to prepare some color. Just going to add a little bit of blue over this white. We're going to see how it looks. So I'm not a glass alchemist, but I do know how to mix colors like an artist does. But a glass alchemist would take all the different, minerals and elements and different materials in order to actually make the hues of the color that we need here. Alright, so we're going with like a basic, like a cobalt 2, a really light cobalt here. and we're coating it over the white. And I'm hoping that it'll be so light of a saturation that it'll just kind of look like a baby blue. That's my hopes, at least. And this color is getting really, really short right here. Like, come on. All right, so now we got that cobalt over white. Yeah, that might work out. Okay, so now we have to stretch it out. We're just going to heat up this whole thing here. We get it all prepared. So Balloon Fiesta is starting up here really soon, guys. So every year around Balloon Fiesta, I start doing these glass hot air balloons. I've been making these for a really long time, since about 1999. And I was asked if I could replicate a balloon off of a trading card. They make these hot air balloon cards. They're like baseball cards, but with hot air balloons on them. Kind of tell you maybe the stats on the back, or what the balloon is, or sometimes it'll just say the year of the Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta, and give a little history on the Balloon Fiesta, things like that. So every year since '99, I've been replicating the hot air balloons and trying to make them as close as possible to the actual hot air balloons that are floating around. Oh my gosh. I did it. That's the color I need right there. So there you go, a little cobalt on top of some snow white. For those of y'all who are also glass blowers, you want a little trick right there. You know, I did create my own gold this year for the original 13 hot air balloons from 1972. I did create those, and they came out really, really nice. Oh yeah, also, I don't know if I can show you guys or not. Let me see if I can move this over just slightly. I wanted to show you. Check out this cool array of colored glass that we got here now. All the colored glass right there. Bam. Here, maybe I'll just keep it like that, and then you guys can see more of the table and the colors and everything. Let me just make sure this doesn't fall down and fall off. Let's see. There. Then you can see the whole pattern and everything. All right. Cool. All right, that's a little bit better of an angle. Now you can see kind of the tools and the stuff that I'm grabbing over here in the different colors. So we got the phone right here, which you don't really need to have on the screen, but we got the blue. So now what we're going to do is we're going to stretch out this pink right here and get this all ready to go. And then we need a yellow and a green. and the maroon, which is like a really deep, a really dark red, but then, kind of brown. I wonder if I can make a maroon by adding a little bit of the garnet over a chocolate. That'd be pretty nice, actually. The trick is making sure that you're using an opaque color with a translucent color on top. Because if you do opaque on opaque, you're not gonna be able to see through that. So that's why the cobalt worked really well, because it's kind of translucent on top of that white, and the white is not translucent at all. It's completely opaque, and so that's how I was able to get that color for the baby blue there. Alright, so I'm going to stretch out this pink, try to be that same thickness. So now we got to try to match up that thickness with all of the different rods. You want to make sure that they're lining up pretty good. You don't want the lines to be too thick in one spot and too thin in another when you're drawing these, because they're all pretty much the same panel. I should probably move this. I keep on having a crisscross over. That doesn't make no sense. I just put it right there, and I got my glass container. Boom and boom. All right, so now we got that pink right there. All right, so we got the baby blue, we got the pink. We need some yellow. So I can see it got two patterns of color and then the pink on top. What's interesting about this balloon is that it's not just a simple pattern. The panels are like they're so crazy. So I'm going to do my best to mimic this. It's not going to look 100%, but it's going to be pretty close. That's better, having that colored jar right there. All right, so now we need to find that red or maroon that I made here. It should just be right here, right? Oh, okay. I put it on a stick of purple here. So I covered a little bit of the purple with the dark garnet, and that's how I can have that color there now. I'm going to have to actually change my timer here so this does not time out. We'll just change the settings real quick. Display timer. Alright, we'll just leave it on like that. Alright, and this one here, I'm going to have to actually do it like this. I'm going to heat it up real slow and stretch and pull it thinner. I don't want to have to melt it all down and re-stretch it back out. So we're going to do it the way that I do body jewelry. I'm making gauges. We're just trying to get it all to about a 3 millimeter thickness here. I'm pulling it down from probably like 5 or 6 millimeters, so it's not, you don't need too much heat or you'll stretch it down to, you don't want to make it too skinny at like a 1 millimeter. And then this part I usually go quiet because I'm trying to concentrate and not heat it in the wrong place or stretch it too much. This is kind of nerve-wracking here. It's very technical, very precise. Alright, that's probably enough for now. Okay. Alright, so now we got the maroon here. Let me show you again what we're working on here. I should have pulled that a little bit thinner, I'm looking. Alright, so we got that, the maroon, the yellow, the light blue, we need a green. And that is almost thick enough. Do I want to attempt that? Probably not. Oh, well, look at that one. That one's thicker right there. Perfect. Man, okay. Yellow, green, light blue, yellow, green, light blue, pink, and then the maroon. Okay, here we go, guys. So now, we get our glass here. Always using the Norwex OptiCloth to make sure we get rid of all of the fingerprints, all the dirt, dust, and debris. Okay. So now, we're just going to simply color this as best as we can. going around it, this is going to be a little difficult because I'm going to have to go kind of up and then down and then up. This is a weird pattern. And some of these, they come out like amazingly perfect. And then some of these are just like, no, you tried, but you did not succeed. Okay, so I see the maroon is like almost up on top. I'm going to actually start with the maroon first. And we're going to try to make this pattern here. So we'll go up, and then down, and then up, and then down, up. Okay. So we go up, and then down, and then up, and then down, and then up, and then down. Oh, I was going to go to my camera over here. I forget, you guys are right there. All right, so there it is. I laid down the very first color. We're going to go maroon, and we're going to go right underneath that. We're going to add the yellow. Go up, down, and back up, and down, and back up, and then down, and then up. All right, so this one's going to take a little bit of making sure that the colors are touching each other because I don't want any spaces in between the colors also. Okay, yellows and green. It'll be interesting having to do it like this, huh? Go up, and then down, and then up, and then down, and then Okay. So then that was the green, and then the blue. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. All right. It's slowly coming together, guys. All right, so that was the blue. So then we go into the pink, and this is the first pass. This will be like pretty much in the center right here now. We go pink. And then I'm just using my jacks or my pliers here to help to just line up all the colors. So you can see I've got several different layers of colors right there. And we end it with the pink, so now we go back to the maroon. We just do the same thing over and over, that same pattern. Okay, what was that? The maroon? So we go blue, green, blue, pink, maroon. see a little bit of empty space in between the colors. I'm just trying to push it over, make sure it's all touching. And I also got to remember that that color is translucent as well. I want to make sure I don't have any clear or too much clear coming through there. That is a crazy pattern right there. Okay, pink, bam, and then yellow, bright yellow right after that. Alright, there's the yellow, then the green. So you can see these are all handmade, one at a time. These are all one-of-a-kind pieces of artwork. No one else in the world does this besides me. And so I can pretty much name my price on these. However, I do keep them extremely affordable. But yeah, I'm the only glass artist in the world that I know that does this. That replicates hot air balloons, turns them into a little miniature glass. You can see how each one takes a while. And so I've been asking upwards of $30 to about $60 on these, but I know they can easily go from $50 to $100 each because they're all handmade, one of a kind. If you go online, you'll be able to like get some generic hot air balloon stuff for like anywhere from $20 to $60 for a simple pendant that someone made a mold of, and then they just simply like replicate it over and over. So these are actually one of a kind, handmade, one at a time. There's no other one that'll ever look identical to the others. I try to make them look the same, especially when I'm duplicating that same balloon over and over again. But it's still one of a kind, one at a time, all custom made. Each piece of colored glass is all laid out by hand and then carefully placed and spaced in a way to mimic your beautiful hot air balloon design. So if you're a pilot, I can try to make your balloon. There is no guarantee that I can make all balloons, that's for sure. There is definitely no guarantee that I can make your balloon, but we can attempt it. We can try. I can do my best to replicate it as best as possible, but I cannot promise that it's going to come out looking identical. Like this one here, we'll see. All right, what did we lay down last? The green. So now we got to go with the light blue. And we're almost to the bottom here. And in the description in the video here, I said I was going to be making several different ones. We started out with a very intricate replica balloon. I thought we were going to start with just some simple ones and kind of work our way up to this, but I was like, let's just do it. Let's get this one out of the way. I promised a friend a while ago, actually about a week or two ago, that I was going to start working on it. It gave me a couple days. But, you know, sometimes life gets in the way. Got other things going on. So, let's see what I can do for my friend here. All right, so that was the blue. Now a little bit of pink. And then, yeah, I think we're pretty much done here. And then we'll finish it off with the with this here in a couple spots. Seems like it's just maybe a little bit here. I think it just kind of goes up into the little nooks and crannies there. All right. Let me just get these all laid down properly. Now the thing is we will not be able to see the finished product of this in its fullest color. I will show it to you once I finish it, but it needs to go in the kiln right away, and some of these colors may be a little darker or a little bit lighter, not showing up in the real natural way that once the colors are all cooled back down, the way they may look. So just be aware of that when I show you. And also, what is your favorite balloon? Do you guys have a favorite balloon? Is there a hot air balloon that you'd like to see made? You'd like to see replicated? Let's see, if that was red, then we got to add a little pink on top. I believe we started with the really, really dark. Then we went into the yellow, then the green, and the blue, right? Dark, and the yellow, green, blue. All right, let me add a little bit of this up top here, just to bring this transition in here. Boom. Up, and down, and up, and down. Okay. And then before pink would be blue. So we will add a little blue on top. All right, and I think that's where we're going to end the top right there. So this is a full color pattern right there for a balloon. And you can see how big it is. So about, half my finger, I guess. All right, and now let me show you once again. Can I just flip this around? That'd be cool if I could just, let me just take it off real quick. All right, let me show you real fast. So that's what I'm working on right there. So this is for a friend. I believe this is like their balloon or someone she cruise for or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. But this is the first time I've ever made this balloon here. So now, we're going to terminate the top here. And what I mean by that, we're just going to kind of pull these colors upward in a way that they all just kind of mix, just like that. And we melt it all down, we get it all nice and rounded, we get rid of all the ridges, all the color ridges and everything. And we turn it into a global, a nice round balloon, a global. I cannot wait to see the way this looks after I'm done with this one here. I really wish that I could bring up the photo right behind so that way you guys could really see what I'm working on here. At the same time, I don't have to keep taking it off the clip here. Just melting down all the colors now, all those ridges. We're also allowing it to get a little bit bigger, more bulbous than just a straight rod. So it's starting to get, round out, turn into a marble kind of on the top here. Halfway done with melting it down here. It's got to get this bottom half now. Here's the balloon that I made last night that I was working on. So you can see kind of the patterns that were, the different things that we're working on. Here's another one I recently worked on, another custom order there. Really cool little hot air balloons. So I know that there's even a local glass artist who's been blowing glass for probably as long as I have, and he makes balloons. And I believe his balloons are really simple, and I think even his start at like $60 and up. So just to give you guys an idea, if you want to get yourself a custom balloon, you can get one from me for 60 or less probably. I do know I can ask $100 on these each. But I'd rather sell a few of them and get them into different hands of people. Maybe eventually, once I get more and more famous with my artwork here, maybe I'll start doing $100 a balloon. But for right now, I'd like to keep it affordable. I've always been known as Gardenia Glass, affordable, quality, functional glass. And that's what I make. It's, quality, affordable, functional glass art. It could be wearable, usable, whatever it is. So that's what Gardenia Glass has always been known for, is quality, functional, affordable. Affordable, quality, and functional glass. However you want to say it. To me, it doesn't matter. Alright, then the last one, let's see, did that little bit of maroon. Okay, and then the skirting will be pink, I see. So we're now getting the bottom of the balloon, or the envelope. So those of you who don't know, there's many different parts to the balloon. The actual balloon itself that fills up with air is known as the envelope. On the envelope, the very top, you have the crown, and that is actually a vent hole that the pilot can then pull rope from inside the basket to be able to pull the crown away from the balloon in order to vent out the air. The crown is basically attached by some rope to the inside, and then also is all lined up with nothing but Velcro. It's quite amazing how these things are pieced together with just little carabiners and little things. Like, wow, we're actually floating in this. So if you've never been in a hot air balloon, I would put that on your bucket list. Highly recommend it. I volunteer to go up on the night, the day, the morning of the eclipse. I don't know if I'll be able to get to, but I'm trying to volunteer for that. It's usually the very last Saturday of that weekend. Our pilot ends up taking his brother. So I'm probably thinking he's going to take family up to go and enjoy that. That's a one in a lifetime thing. It's going to be amazing. I predict that it's going to be the most photographed event in history at the Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta this year during the eclipse. When have we ever had an eclipse during Balloon Fiesta here in Albuquerque? Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta is already known as probably like one of the most photographed places in the world, most photographed events in the world. I know recently we opened up LAMPWORKING here in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and in the short period of time that LAMPWORKING has been around, LAMPWORKING has actually dethroned the Balloon Fiesta as far as being the most photographed place or event on the earth. And that's pretty amazing to have that recognition like that. Alright, you guys. So now, turned it into a balloon. You see that? It's got all those patterns in there. So now, we have to balloon it out. And by ballooning it out, what I mean is that we will add these clear glass rods on the outside of it, and this will give it that effect of like being a 3D balloon with the ripples and everything. So that's what I'm doing now, creating the actual texture, the shape, the feel of the hot air balloon. So I'll do one across from the first one, and then we go in between those, So then that'll line up to create a crisscross pattern of 4. And then we'll put lines going in between all that. And that'll finish off our balloon pattern. And I see I can probably put 2 in between. I was going to go 1 in between, but now I decided we're going to go 2 in between. Just add a little bit extra work to this. There's 4 more lines than usual, which is fine. But they're going to fit in here just nicely, so I figure might as well. And so all these lines that I'm adding on here, I will be melting them down a little bit slightly, but I'm not going to melt them down all the way because we don't want to lose the texture. We want to actually have all the bumps and ridges and everything. We're going to purposely leave it unmelted entirely. But we want to make sure it's not going to crack. So you definitely want to melt it down some and work it. So it doesn't crack. Alright, there we go. So that is your hot air balloon with all the ridges and everything. You see like one line right there. I'm like, I could probably fit one in right there. Nice. Alright. And then we want to make sure that we get, if there's any pieces that are a little bit bigger or whatever, we want to all round it out nicely. This is when you get the complete shaping of it. You want to make sure everything is all set in, and now we're going to melt down all the glass there. See, we took care of that one ridge that was kind of missing. I was like, oh yeah, we'll fit one right in there. Alright, so now we're going to melt it all down, but not all the way. We want to make sure that all the clear glass is adhered to that color glass underneath. You want to make sure there's no way that it's going to want to pop or crack or break or anything like that. And then, like I said, we're going to make sure that it's all nice and rounded here. And make sure we sink in this top pretty good. And then I'm going to hit the center here, and we're going to try to bulb it out just a little bit more. Yeah, I really think I need to keep these at least $40. But if you order a whole bunch, I will definitely work with you on a better deal, a bulk price, you know. If you buy like 3 at a time, instead of 120, maybe I can bring it down to like, you know, maybe like $100 for 3 of them or something like that. I really do feel that these are worth at least $40, especially these kind where they've taken me so much time, energy, and effort on making sure that they really are legit looking. And then you can see the process, right? I mean, we're already an hour in on one piece. I should be asking $100 on this. Because there's no one else who's ever going to be able to do this. And that's a challenge to all the glass blowers out there. You actually have the time to sit around and dedicate yourself to making hot air balloons all day, to get yourself to the point to where I am with my design? Are you as much of a balloonatic as I am? And then will you be able to get them out to all the different pilots and crews on the field? So that's the beauty of what I get to do, is I get to go and crew every year with our pilot Rick Jones. And we get to fly Polar Dawn during a dawn patrol. So I'm already on the field, so it's just, I'm already there. I'm in the action. And I'm getting recognition now, of course, because of the Expo New Mexico State Fair. But not only that, just from the different individuals that I made these for over the years, just the word of mouth alone has really gotten people to know that there's someone out there who actually replicates balloons. And this is, you know, like everyone goes out there to get their balloon cards, right? Like all the kids go to get their free balloon cards from all the balloon pilots and crews. That's the fun part of Balloon Fiesta. But then you've got your big kids, right? And we like to go out and collect all our balloon pins, or get like calendars, or get any sort of really cool memorabilia that's got the year of it, you know. So every year you got to spend like $1 million on new merchandise just so you can have a bag of it to put in your closet. You know, I don't know how much more balloon stuff I really need. There's a couple things that I might like, but I don't know if I really need. You know, the one thing that I really, really need from Balloon Fiesta is one of those massage chairs. They got those at the booth, and our friend last year actually got a hookup on the very last day. So if you go on the last day when they're packing things up, you might be able to talk them down on some really amazing deals, because they won't have to worry about loading things up. You know, it's one less item they have to load and pack or worry about taking back to wherever. So yeah, all the souvenirs, they get a little crazy and out of hand every year, but then again, we're a bunch of lunatics. You know, the one thing that I need to work on right now is getting my family some really cool shirts, so then they can all have the shirt too. I'll show you that in a second. I'll show you our balloon here in a second. And I actually need to try to replicate that. So I don't know if we'll work on it here today. I may actually let y'all go after this one. We'll keep this one short and sweet with just one simple balloon. Maybe I'll make a couple other styles so you can see the difference between a generic balloon, one that I just like make real quick for $20, compared to these, which these take a lot longer. So it should probably cost a lot more than what I'm asking. So you better get them now before I start bringing them up to that $100 price. You know, I mean, this is like getting one of those Chuck Jones cartoon cells. You know, it's an original, one-of-a-kind masterpiece. There's no two alike. No one else is ever going to have it. Now we're going to see. Am I going to have to make another one of these? All right. So now we got the loop on there. So you got to get the loop, right? And you can hang it. You got to make that nice and super strong. You don't want a weak loop on there, or else it'll just break off. And then then what is it? Just a balloon to play with? You want it to be hanging. And I also want to recommend that, you know, if you buy a piece of glass jewelry, take care of it like it's a diamond. Take care of it like it's gold or silver, you know? You don't want to just be flinging stuff around and letting your gold or letting your platinum or your, you know, you don't want to let any of that get scratched up and stuff. So I don't understand. Some people, they don't really take care of the glass. And maybe it's because they're so used to everyone just having drinking cups and drinking glasses, and windows are made out of glass and all this stuff is glass. But an actual hand-blown piece of glass, you know, like this is even more valuable than some sort of diamond ring that was basically just wax injected through a mold. They made like 20 of them all at once. All the same ring. You know, you go give that ring to your wife or your fiance. You're like, look, I got this special for you. Like, no, you just got it sized to fit her. It's not made special. You didn't actually fabricate it and customize it from nothing. And that's the difference of these, you know. These are all one of a kind, handmade. So I really, you know, I recommend that people who get handmade stuff like this, that they really, really take care of it. But then again, you know, you got guys like me who will make toys out of glass. So then you can actually play with your glass, right? And have fun with it, you know? Here, let me show you a toy that I make for all y'all out there. Love to play around all day. Here, let me show you. Let me show you this glass toy that I got. See that cool spinning top? My table's a little bit angled. I'm like, here, let me push it this way. It'll stay on the table. But yeah, I make cool little fun toys and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, at that point, then how are you supposed to take care of that? You know, when you're actually playing with it, and you know. So that's why I keep those very affordable. So then you're not like playing with a diamond ring, you know. To me, these hot air balloons are like diamond rings. These are one of a kind. No one's sitting there working on your ring for you, all fabricating it by making the shank, you know, melting down a bunch of gold or silver and then creating the shank, custom stretching it out from a bar or a rod and then making it to your size. You know? These are all one of a kind, handmade. And I believe I'm the only artist in the world. I will keep saying that until I find someone else who actually is making these, and then it's just game on. Then I have a competitor finally. He's like, all right, cool, let's do this. Now I got someone to compete with. Right now it's like no competition. No competition. I'm the only one in my bracket here. It's crazy. Like, yeah, you got other glass blowers. You got other glass blowers who make hot air balloons. Yeah, you got that. But you definitely don't got glass blowers who replicate hot air balloons for specific balloons, for specific pilots and crews. Like, no, I am the only one in the world. And that's cool to be able to say that, you know. I've been able to say that for many things, you know. I was a creator of the world's first glass drip tip for electronic cigarettes way back in the day in 2010. And when I say that, the world's first glass drip tips, that means I put them on the market for the world. There was another individual who apparently was making them around the same time that I started making them, and I didn't know. It's not like I saw his design and then took it. I just started making them, and at that point, we put them out there. The first ones on the globe to have them available to others at wholesale and retail. So I was the creator of the world's first glass drip tip, which is really, really cool. I'm trying to think of other things that I've created. I'm like, huh, anyone else do that yet? Alright, so right now we're getting this prepared. Uh-oh. We're getting it prepared on the bottom. I'm pulling it down. So the envelope can then have a skirt put on it. And that's just a little piece of colored glass or whatever. And this skirt looks pink. So we're going to go on ahead and use the pink on here. We're just going to round up a little dot of color here. And we're going to just smash it right on the bottom. So the skirt is an extra piece of material, sometimes known as a scoop. And a scoop actually has a kind of open-ended on one side, or it's to where if you can get the wind to come in on that way, it'll push you in that direction. Also, when inflating the balloon, it really helps to keep your scoop down, so then you can inflate your balloon, do a cold inflate with a fan. So you just use air, and you use a fan to kind of blow up the balloon. And once there's enough air in there, then that's when you heat it up, and that's when you get the molecules to start moving around, and it starts to shape into the balloon. It stands up. You know, a lot of people say the heat rises, but in reality, what's happening is that there's nowhere for that hot air to go. And as it cools, it kind of pushes outward to the bottom. So there's actually a bottom thrust, like kind of like boosters in a rocket. And the air coming out the bottom hole is what actually lifts up the balloon and brings it upward. It's quite amazing. There's a thrust. There's also the heat, because heat rises. And yeah, it's quite amazing. All the different things that go on with flying a balloon, getting it up in the air. Sorry. I saw a piece of hair. You gotta get rid of hair. You don't want any kind of hair around the heat, or else it'll create, like, it'll burn it right onto the surface of the glass, and then it looks ruined. All right, you guys. So like I said, we may not have a complete reveal on this because I don't want it to crack, number one. And it's not going to look like the same colors because some of these colors are really, really hot. And so they may not look like, you know, yellow may look red or may look orange. You know, the green may look black. You know, it just is not going to look like the balloon. So let me try and show you this side by side here. I can see the colors on here could maybe be a little bit thicker. That's for sure. But I'm happy with that. I hope my friend is happy with that as well. All right, look at, you can see those blues coming out there. Yeah, look at that. Here, let me turn this back around. There we go. All right, so now let's finish this up, get this in the kiln. Hopefully the kiln's up to temperature here. This is very scary, don't want to drop it. This is the most nerve-wracking part of it all here. Trying to just finish up the loop and getting it in the kiln without dropping it on the floor or anywhere, accidentally touching it with something. There, it's safely in the kiln, done. Woo. All right, you guys, so there you have it. Just finished that one right there. That one was a doozy, right? And okay, so I'm gonna try to make one real quick to show you the difference in real quick and easy balloons compared to that. So that was an hour and 20 minutes total. Now once I have the colors picked out and I figure out the colors, you know, there was some prep work in that, then now, you know, it wouldn't take an hour and 20 minutes. Now it would take like maybe 40 minutes because I'm not spending all that time figuring out what colors we're going to use, melting the blue on top of the white, doing all the different things. So now I'm going to show you a very quick, simple balloon style that we do here. And I'm thinking I want to try to do a dual color. We go dark blue and light blue. Alright, so I'm going to do a dual color pattern here. This should be quick and easy, real simple. Usually I just do one color, but I figured might as well just do two. I want to see what this looks like with a light and a dark. Alright, so my friend said that I should try to make these a little bit smaller, and I was like, alright, cool. We'll make it smaller. And make it a little quicker for me. Not having to melt down so much, but still keeping them really nice looking too. And we're going to add two colors on this one. It shouldn't be much longer, much more than just adding the one. You know, just like a split second, you know, maybe 10 seconds to 30 seconds of heating up that extra color and then adding it on there. Alright, so now we need the pad here. So the pad is made out of carbon graphite here. So it absorbs the heat, it doesn't shock it or push it back out to the glass to shock it or anything like that. We're going to push this down directly right there like that. Something like that size. Okay. I'm going to take it off. So as you can see, we're already like a minute in and already got the pattern done. And we just got to get the heat right to cut this off. So we're going to flame cut it now. And these are a flat back style, so a little bit different. And I'll show you a regular style too. So we'll get both of these in a timer here alongside the custom one there for. So you can just see, you know, if you want a custom balloon, it takes me a good hour, hour and a half to get your balloon, get all the colors all prepped and ready. So just know, you know, you're gonna be paying a good amount of money for the custom ones compared to these. These ones I can do all day. I can wholesale you balloons for next year. This year, all my wholesale is all done. There's no more wholesale available. So if you didn't order any wholesale with me, then you can order for next year. So now I'm just heating up the front of it here. This will be the front. And you can see it's kind of like a UFO disc shape right now. We're going to melt that down to where it's just like a nice lens in the front. All nice and round and smooth. Keeping all those colors in the back. This size is a good size. I do believe my friend will like this one. He liked the other ones, but the other ones are coming out a little big. I do have to agree with him that those were coming out big. But then his mom was like, I really like this one. She picked out the biggest one. Like, see, it's all eye of the beholder, man. Sometimes you think, oh, that's not going to sell. I don't like those. And those are the first ones. So I just know as an artist, I'm not here to make stuff or to sell stuff for me. You know, it's not about what I like. It's about what others might like. And that's one thing that I've learned in marketing with glass and everything. All right, beautiful. All right, so now, let's see if I can show you that design there. You can see the spiral in there. So now we just figure out where we want the balloon and the gondola and everything to go on there. So I just kind of spin it and I'm like, how do I like it? I like it like that. All right. And then I mark where the bottom's going to be by putting a little clear dot on here like this. Oh. And that's it. Add a little gondola, little color for the basket. It goes directly on the bottom of that one there. Boom. You see? There's a very simple hot air balloon style that I make. And now I just got to put the loop on it. You just got to find that piece of glass that we were using. And then we'll put a loop on it. So from 22 to 28, 5 minutes. Within 10 minutes. But it's not done yet, so I can't say that 100%. We're going to clear off the back. So yeah, still a couple more minutes. We can't call the 5-minute mark there, but you can see the big difference though, right? And these are the ones I sell for 20. And then put a loop on there. And I just want to always make sure that it's nice and strong, good strong loop, so it doesn't break. Just want to melt all that glass to it as best as possible. Alright, so we started at 22 and it's now 31, so 9 minutes, guys. But we got to finish it, so let's call it 10 minutes. Alright, so that's a simple generic style pendant that I do. Just like that. And we just drop that in the kiln. That one's ready to go too. Woo, that's hot. Alright, now let me show you another way. Alright, so these ones, we're just going to do the same thing pretty much. Add a couple colors here. Spin it, twist it. Well, instead of flattening it on the back, we're going to leave it round. Trying to see what colors I'd like to use. Alright, so we're going to go with a garnet with a bright red. I want to see these two together. And if they complement each other, or if it just looks weird. I'm going to do two reds together just to see, because I've never comboed them before. And I'd like to see what they look like. Alright. So now we got the two colors, and that's probably a little bit more than I need. So that's alright. That'll give us a little extra to take off the bottom and the top. We'll just trim it up one. So now the trick is heating it all up, getting those colors melted. We're going to grab the top here, in between the two pieces of glass, and we're going to spiral those so they can spiral into each other. We're going to spiral the whole piece. I'm going to turn it the opposite way now to get that glass to really spin the right way with it. There we go. Nice. So now I just got them all twisted up, right? Take off that punchy. Now you got colors all twisted. Hold up. See, showing it off like this, that really takes away from the heat and stuff. But then you can see it's all twisted up. Then we add we melt it down, then we create the shape and add the little things on there. So even with slowing down to show you, let's see how it's going to look. And like I said, we're going to terminate this top. So we'll take off some from the top. This is the top here. And we'll take off some from the bottom once we clean the bottom up too. And that'll make a really nice clean top, spiraled up, of the two different colors there. And once I get all of it all melted down, we can try to bulb it out just a little bit. And then that way we can turn this into a balloon. Alright, so now you can see it's kind of rounded this way like that. We're going to add the lines to create that balloon look, the classic balloon look with the ripples. So then I just add the two lines across each other, and then I go with the two lines in between those to make a crisscross kind of pattern. And then we got 4 lines, and then we go right in between those. So you can see the 4, right? And then we go in between those, and that finishes off the balloon effect there. Okay, then we get all those down around the sides there. Then we'll melt it. We'll kind of push it down this way, and it'll really help to bulb it out, guys. And I don't remember exactly. I guess we stopped that one at 10 minutes. So from 8:20 or what, 122 to 123, we had made the balloon right before this one. So this one's probably like 8:25, something like that. And we're at 8:40 now. Or sorry, 8:35. I mean, from 22 to 32, and then 35. So we're like 5 minutes in right now on this balloon. So hopefully we can get this one done in 10 minutes as well. And then that way I should be able to easily make 4 or 5 of these an hour, which would be really nice if I can keep these going and make 4 or 5 an hour and then get rid of them at 20 a piece. I'd be happy with that. Alright, so now I'm pushing it down, which has created that really nice balloon shape. See that? And we put the loop on. Okay. And we need to flame cut it, so we gotta bring the flame back up, get the puntee on the loop here, but always clean the end of your puntee, or you'll have a little bit of like a color or whatever is on there, and that might transfer to the loop, and you don't want that. You always want to go clear to clear if you can, or you can also use a color. If you have colored glass, you can use a colored puntee. I would recommend always using a clear puntee though, because sometimes they don't hold on well. All right, you guys, well, this is going to be the last one for this video here. I'm going to continue working though, and I may actually bring this up on a whole different platform here, but I really want to I need to get onto my phone here, figure out what other orders I have, what other balloons that I should be working on and making right now, so we can just keep on cranking these out. And I think I got like 2 weeks now at this point. We have this coming week, and then it'll be the end of the month, and then the following week, and end Balloon Fiesta. So we got 2 weeks as of right now. And our Balloon Fiesta actually starts on like Thursday and Friday, because we have to go and meet up with our crew and everyone, and the pilot, make sure we got all the equipment set up. We do a dry, well, not a dry run. We may actually fly that day and chase, but it's not during the fiesta. But there's a lot of places on Thursday that will set up balloons at the different elementary schools and things like that, and that's really cool. All right. We're at basically like 10 or 11 minutes in on this one as well, guys. Don't drop it. This is always the most, see, it tries to slip out of the tweezers there. All right. There you go, guys. So that's 3 balloons, 1 custom balloon. That was really awesome. This one here, I don't know if you got to see that one made, but that's it right there. And then we did some of the other just real simple generic style balloons. But that's it for today. I'm going to let y'all go. I'm Dan the Glassman. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to go to facebook.com/glass hot air balloons, and you can find me there. And you can also message me there if you'd like to send me a photo of your favorite balloon, and you'd like to request that I customize your balloon. All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys soon. Remember, water is life. Every drop counts.